I wanted to revisit hey Josh, good to see you. Um, Revisit a topic that we talked about some time ago, but I thought was worth revisiting this morning, which is dealing with regret. Um, and it's just something that we all struggle with. It's just, I think, part of the human journey. But Maya Angelou said, and I love this quote, I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced about it. And I understand that to mean that she's talking, at least in part, about regret. So, how do we define it in our 21st century world? Well, it's formally defined as a negative cognitive emotional state that involves blaming ourselves for a bad outcome, feeling a sense of loss or sorrow at what might have been, or wishing we could undo a previous choice that we made. So all those things got subsumed under regrets. And who among us does not have multiple regrets? You know, both in terms of choices made that we regret, actions taken that we regret, or actions and choices not taken. You know, I should have done something and I didn't. Opportunities foregone, paths not taken. You know, regrets within us about our own actions, regrets about the actions of others and how we were treated or how they behaved. You know, we talked last month, I guess, about rumination, and you'll recall there were four categories of rumination that we talked about. And regret was one of those four categories because that's what we do. We ruminate about them. We dwell on them. We go over and over our past regrets, past choices made or not made, actions taken or not taken. So I think, simply put, from the perspective of the Dharma, are regrets not simply a function of clinging to past actions, clinging to past inactions, and thinking, you know, holding on to them because we can't let go of the fact that we did something we wish we hadn't, or didn't do something we wish we had done. You know, it's two categories. We either did something we wish we hadn't done, or we failed to do something that we wish we had done. But we hold on to them, somehow hold on to them, cling to them, believing that we can somehow fix them or uh, alleviate them if we cling to them. The problem is that they isolate us. You know, we kind of get tunnel vision with our regrets. We don't particularly like to share them. We often feel ashamed of them. We often feel embarrassed about stupid things that we've done or choices we didn't make. We begin this in terms of our practice, as we always do, with noticing. Okay, what's the inner dialogue that raises that red flag and says that I'm immersed in regret? If only, what if, I should have, I should not have, they should not have. All of those phrases are a flag that we are starting down that slippery slope into regret if we're not already there. So at that point, our challenge on this path becomes being open to fully examining them. You know, our tendency when we get into them is to either dwell in them, ruminate about them, or try to push them away, try to run from them, try to distract ourselves. But what if we are open to fully examining them? And I don't mean just continuing to ruminate, I mean fully examining them to see what it is about them that we are clinging to. In other words, examining them without the judgment, examining them without the self-condemnation, examining them without condemning ourselves, and seeing them as just one more of life's experiences that can be known, examined, and accepted. Okay. This is what the Dalai Lama said when he was asked about regrets in his own life. He said, they're still there. But even though that feeling of regret is there, it isn't associated with a feeling of heaviness or quality of pulling me back. So he's holding his regrets more lightly. He's not letting the heaviness of them, the self-condemnation, the weight of the self-judging weigh him down. He hasn't gotten rid of them. The task is not that we rid ourselves of regrets, you know. Rather, he has changed his relationship. We talk about this all the time. We don't rid ourselves of our burdens, but we seek to change our relationship with them. This is the best we can do. They're going to be there, but how we respond to them, again, second arrow stuff, how we respond to them really can impact the extent of our suffering. To be fully present in the moment without all the second arrow stuff that comes with regrets, without, not clinging to this notion that somehow, we should wallow in the guilt and shame that accompanies our regrets. Understanding we can't do anything to change what has happened in the past, and that dwelling on them and wallowing in them is a tremendous source of suffering. The only thing that can be that's beneficial about a regret is telling us that we've done something we don't wish to do again. Okay, it's that thing about, if the mule kicking us, we learn we don't want him to kick us again. Stay out of the back of the mule. The only benefit is, oh, I learned from that. That's fine. That's healthy. That's productive. I don't want to do that stupid thing again. That's the only event. But it doesn't require that we dwell on them, wallow in them, suffer from them to learn from them. We can learn from them and then move on. So as I said, we notice them by those phrases: if only, what if, I should have, would have, could have. And the first step, and that's the first step in changing our relationship to our regrets, to see how tangled up in them we are. The Buddha always talked about we get tangled in these situations, that they are the source of our ruminations when we're ruminating about regrets. And then we can sort of get into our regrets beyond just a non-specific sense of suffering. And after we've noticed them, we can label them. Oh, this is regret. Oh, I'm wallowing in regret. This is what regret feels like. Just by labeling it, we get a little separation there. We get a little distance. And understanding at that moment that regret is driven by the identification. We're identified with a needing to be right about a past issue, that it's always at the end of the day about my ego. My ego is wounded because I was wrong about that. I did something stupid that I regret, or I didn't do something I should have done that I regret. We see it for what it is, and then can we let it go? This is a regret, let it go. Can we set it down? Can we lighten our load? Because regrets carry a heavy load. This is our challenge that we bring to the practice of regret. So let me stop there and let's have some discussion about it.